let's say you refer a couple of folks. The first two people that you refer, now let me tell you what I mean by refer. They join through your referral link, one, and they purchase at least one unit in any one of the three pools. So even the $500 pool, okay? That's considered a referral, okay? All right, now, the first two that you refer are going to be placed in what's called your team number one. There are 4 teams. The first two that you refer would be in your team number one. Now, what do you get as a referral commission? You earn 15% on whatever pools they purchase. They're purchasing computer power in the pools, okay? And this is very key, all right? Even when they earn daily, you're earning 15%. Meaning when they earn, remember, a certain amount of what they earn is recapitalized. I want to show this. I want to make sure you get this, okay? All right, so let's put some numbers to this. Give me a moment. Let's go back to my whiteboard. Okay, so let's say that in time you've referred a couple of folks, and let's say in time, maybe collectively over time, they've built a total pool balance of $10,000. Maybe somebody came aboard and purchased a large amount to start. Maybe they purchased a medium amount or small amount, but then over time they built up their pool balances. Well, you would earn 15%. So whether that happened at one fell swoop, whether that happened over time, you would have earned $1,500 worth of Bitcoin. It would be paid to you in Bitcoin. You could then convert that Bitcoin into whatever your country's currency happens to be. You have the Australian dollar, convert it into the Australian dollar. You have the Dominican peso, convert it into the Dominican peso. The US dollar, convert it into the US dollar, so on and so forth, okay? Now, here's what I want you to get. Let's say that on that $10,000 pool balance, those couple of folks that you referred that make up your team one, that collectively they recapped that night what would be akin to $50 worth of recapitalization. In other words, they got paid in Bitcoin, and at least a percentage of that had to go back into the system, and maybe they allocated even more than what had to go back into the system. What would happen here is you would get 15% of that for the night, or $750. So if that happened as an average over a 30-day period, you're talking $225 if you do the math. I believe that's right. You're talking $225 over the month, but it's paid to you daily, meaning you're getting pieces daily. In this example, $750 a day. And think about this. Referral number one, referral number two, they're not even on an auto ship. They're not even on an auto ship. And because their pool balance is ever growing, what does this mean every day? This will be growing. This will be growing. This will be growing. So $50 today might be $100 a few weeks or a few months from now that you're getting 15% on daily. That might be $200. That might be $500 in time that you're getting paid on daily. All right? Now that's at 15%. So when you refer your third, your fourth, and your fifth, this starts team two. So your first two are forever in team one. Your third, fourth, and fifth start team two. Now what's going to happen is you're going to get a bump from 15%. You'll continue to get 15% with your first two referrals, but now you're going to get 20% with referrals 3, 4, and 5. So now, same idea. Let's say that they're up to 10,000 points between them. Maybe in time, we want them all to be at least 10,000 pool balance, okay? But let's say right now, 10,000, but now you're getting 20%. So that's 2,000 you've made. And now if collectively they are recapping $100 a night between the three of them, You're earning $20 a night in residual income. Times 30, you're at $600 a month, and neither 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 are on a monthly auto ship or subscription. But it gets even better, because now in Team 2, when person number 3 refers her first 2, when person number 4 refers their first 2, when person number 5 refers their first 2, gets better. When these people refer their first 2, when this one person here refers their first 2, and this number 2 person here refers their first 2, and when their 2 refer their first 2, and their 2 refer their first 2, and their 2 refer their first 2 to an unlimited depth. This is why this is called a Team Infinity bonus. So this third person could refer to their first 2, and these first 2 could refer their first 2, and those first 2 will refer their first 2, and those first 2 refer. You could have in your team number 2 hundreds of people because of how that lays out. And with these other folks here, you're getting a 5% override on their initial purchases, on their daily recapping, on their initial purchases, and on their daily recapping. Doesn't stop there. Now, let's start Team 3. Team 3 starts with your 6th referral. Your 6th, your 7th, and your 8th referral make up your third team. You get another 5% bonus. So any purchases 6, 7, and 8 make, initial, ongoing, ongoing is day after day. You want to know why T. Lamont's promoting BitClub Network? Because I love getting daily residual income, especially when that's coming from real revenue. Okay? Daily residual income, nothing like it. You've heard of monthly residual income. We're not talking monthly residual. We're not even talking weekly residual. We're talking daily residual income. But now, when 6, 7, or 8 refer their first 2, and when any of these first 2 refer their first 2, and these first 2 refer their first 2, and those 2 refer their first 2, you get a 10% override. And when either 6, 7, or 8 refer their third, their fourth, their fifth, and when the third, fourth, and fifth refer their third, fourth, and fifth, and when the third, fourth, and fifth refer their third, fourth, and fifth, and when the third, fourth, and fifth refer their third, fourth, and fifth, you get a 5% override. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw a lot of our Joe and Susie averages refer a couple of people in previous enterprises where you got maybe 10% at the top of a personal referral, their purchases and any ongoing purchases, and maybe 5% from their referrals, and that was it. And we saw there was one young lady. I remember she referred one person. That's it. She referred one person, and then ultimately over time, her daily referral income from the one person that she referred, as they built up their balances, became an income. Well, not daily, but when you stretch that out for the month, it became an income. Nothing like this right here. 25, 10, 5, and then their third, fourth, and fifth, you get 5, and their third, fourth, and fifth, you get 5, and their third, fourth, and fifth, you get 5. And then let's finish with team number 4. Team number 4 is your 9th referral and on. Here is my aim for every single one of you, even those of you that say, I've never been able to recruit. I don't have a list. I want you to stick very closely with us, okay? We've got some marketing campaigns that we're starting. We're going to be doing a lot of testing of marketing campaigns. When we find campaigns that are working, in other words, I don't want to bring a campaign to you unless it's just a no-brainer, low outlay type campaign. I don't want to bring a campaign to you that says, hey, you need to outlay $300 or $500 for traffic unless I've already shown and gotten that same traffic, and we've seen that that traffic is converting into people joining and making purchases, okay? not only me, but we've got a leadership team when they have things. So we'll be bringing to our audience ways that you can start building your list, building your following if you don't have one now. So I want you just to follow us intimately. Here we go. I want to get you to team number 4. At team number 4, you cap out at 27.5%. Okay? I want to show you what that might look like in just a few moments. The people that you refer in team 4, this 9th person, and this is forever now, your 9th, your 10th, your 172nd person, whenever they refer their first 2, you get 12.5% of their first 2. And then when these first 2 refer their first 2, 12.5%. I was getting 10% when I personally referred in another network. Here you could get 12.5%, and it's not even your referral. And we know it's coming from real revenue. Real revenue. Then this 9th person, this 90th person, this 900th person, when they get their 3rd, 4th, and 5th, you get 7.5% from the one-time and then ongoing daily recaps of their 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But it didn't stop there, because when this 3rd person, their 3rd, 4th, and 5th, this 4th person, their 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and this 5th, their 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and their 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll be honest with you. I've been going through these numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I still don't think I'm even close to understanding the potential of what I'm showing you right here. I can clearly see 10 and 5 because that's what I saw. And I saw what that did not only for me, but what that did for a lot of folks that followed us. But 27.5 and 12.5 and 7.5 with their 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and with their 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 6th, 7th, and 8th, another 2.5, and that goes to infinity. I want you, yes, you can make money without a list, but my gosh, you could make a fortune with one.